Hey guys, Stacy here, We Grow Again. Today I'm going to talk about composting and how you can do it really easy with grass clippings and the dirt around your garden after you mow. There's leaves in here, there's little sticks and twigs from the tree that's falling down, the oak tree, and you can see that soil this compost starting to break down into a soil. You know, that's what you want. And utilizing leftover soil from your plants that are dead. This was a basil that I just took out of a pot. It died. You can see I kind of neglected it, and it just started wilting too bad on me. And they really can't come back once they're wilted like this. Their roots are pretty damaged and stuff. I mean, they can, but they're going to be a really weak plant. And it didn't have much of a root system on it for the plant that it is. So the soil that was in there was really, there was no nutrients in it. It was really like light brown compared to, light brown soil means that there's really no nutrients in that soil when it's this color compared to this rich, dark, color nutrients that we're starting to get in here. There's some potting soil in here. That's what you're seeing, them little green pellets. That was from what was in this plant. But you can utilize your leftover soil in your garden beds by putting it in here, guys. And I actually I want to show you, tomatoes and food scraps that I put in. I put my tomatoes that are bad or something, and cucumber peels and just peels from potatoes and stuff like that. That's all I compost basically, and what I do is I keep it in here until I'm ready. Now, your compost bucket, you want to make sure your food scraps have some air in them. This is just a spaghetti strainer, and I actually really like this, so I don't ruin it, but it has to have holes in it so it can breathe them food scraps, because they're really acidic and they're going to let off gases, I guess, so you would call it. So that really helps to give them food scraps air. Now, I scrap only, like I said, like peels from my cucumbers, my potatoes, my tomatoes, and you can see that I have tomato plants growing because I did put rotten tomatoes in there. They went bad, they were soft, I couldn't save what I didn't save on them. And then I also had a bean. I guess I had a bean in there somewhere, and he sprouted. So I found these right now that were growing at the top of my compost. Now, I don't mix my compost often. A lot of people sift through their compost and turn it constantly. I do not. What I do is I just let it sit. What I do, guys, is I'm going to take you over here and show you what my husband does. Well, fiance, soon to be husband. He pushes, when he mows, he pushes all that grass, all them grass clippings and leaves, he tries to push against the fence for me. So I can just come in, start from way down here, and then what I do is I rake up all my leaves, and then I come out here a little bit, and you can see just how much leaves and branches I have in here. And these are good to put in your compost soil, these branches. Just break them up, and whatever's going to break down will break down within, a few weeks to a few months, and then, you're good to go. Once your potting soil reaches your compost pile, sorry, I keep calling it potting soil. Once your compost pile reaches that point where it's been like a month and over a month, and you're starting to see it break down like this, and that natural fungi that's in there is going to break down, that bacteria, you can tell that these grass clippings are clumpy. Just space it out. I don't want to get bit by a bee here. I'm invading their space. But just fluff the grass clippings up, get a shovel in there, and turn it over maybe once a week. I do this maybe once a week. Once every 2 weeks if I'm lazy. And just flip it around. If you have to, dump the whole bucket out and then re-flip it around. This is a lot easier to do with a pitchfork, though. You want to get a pitchfork and do this. And then just flip it around, and you're good to go for another week or so. And now your soil, your compost pile should stay moist. You should always see this moist to the touch, but not sopping wet. This is all moist, so it's all going to break down like that. If it's really dry, it will not break down on you. It really does not break down. It doesn't get that natural beneficial fungi in there that you should be needing. And then when you're done and this all breaks down, guys, in about a few months, this has been in here probably, I'd say about 3 weeks now. I started this ago. 3 weeks ago, I raked up all them grass clippings when we cut the grass and all them leaves. And let me tell you something, the soil underneath them grass clippings, you're going to notice when you rake that up, it's going to be black. And that's healthy soil. You don't want that light brown, doesn't look like anything's in there. You can tell that color difference. This compost pile is getting nice and rich. So keep it moist but not sopping wet. Keep it in the shade. I don't put a lid on it. I just keep it open. If you do put a lid on it or use a container, make sure you have air flow in here. You don't want to put, especially using food scraps, they have a lot of gases that are going to be released into your compost pile, and you don't want a completely sealed container because it's going to explode on you in the long run, especially in heat. So just make sure you have a lot of air going in your compost pile. It helps to break down your pile a lot faster too. You can just close your tote up or container up, or drill holes in the top and put a lid on it too. That's also an option. Till next time, I hope that helps you throw compost on your garden and your containers. Bye-bye.